New Gaming Order. How the hell are y'all doing? It's Alex Texas and co-producer, co-CEO, Brother Nelson, and Shinwar with his raspy voice on my Xbox Live mic. He's trolling the hell out of me. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Uh, I'm not gonna do we back like the Juggernaut bitch because I don't want to. All right. And Shinwar sitting there laughing like Heathcliff and Garfield on my headset, and Nelson sitting there grinning at me because
This is funny.
this some BS. But anyway, let's get into this. You already see what the damn title is, so just so you know, new gaming order. I'm converting to the PC, so it is what it is. It's Shimura sitting there laughing in my ear, yo. Yo, I'm taking the headset off. I'll be with you in a second. All right, new gaming order. I just came back from drill, and while I was doing my military stuff in Queens, Shinwar gives me a call, and he said, "Did you see the Sony experience?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm at drill. I can't see nothing." Then he sent me some feeds, but over at Bayside, like I was by LaGuardia, by the water, and I don't know, something was wrong with my reception, so I couldn't really do anything. But Street Fighter Five gameplay has been put out there. The video that I uploaded right before this was the direct trailer. I already got not a copyright strike, but they're like, damn, I'm just showing the trailer, showing the, the mechanics. But um, initial impressions before I go into the whole exclusivity thing, which now has become a permanent issue. Um, that gameplay looks nice. It looks excellent. It looks like I didn't see anything with focus attack or parry or anything, but it looks like there's a mechanic where you power up. You see Chun Li do it. You see Ryu do it. So maybe that's like a K groove, like from Mark of the Wolves, or like a N groove from what was this CVS 2. Like they power up and then they probably have like EX moves for a period of time or something. But Nelson, what are your thoughts on the gameplay trailer that was revealed today at the Sony Experience? Or
Well,
not during the Sony Experience. Well, it was revealed at Sony Experience,
yeah.
but yesterday.
Um, I think it's pretty well done. I mean, they kind of took it in a certain direction where I didn't suspect certain things to be done because let's say there's a lot of people speculating that Ryu had like a parry due to like the stance that he took.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
And no one knows if it's like a parry, just like a default stance animation, a walk back animation. Like no one really knows. And the whole thing with them like activating stuff, a lot of people, this is just like based what I'm reading from, a lot of people's like, oh, that's like the instinct groove from Killer Instinct, where they just activate something and that character has itself special ability. Like
Mm,
when Chun Li activated it in the beginning, she was able to shoot out two Kokoshos from opposite hands.
yeah.
And when Ryu activated it, he was able to do a Tatsumaki kick and the guard break mechanic as well. So I don't know, but there's a lot to speculate right now, especially with the whole wall breaking. That we don't know if it's like a ending round finisher or just something like it happens in Marvel vs. Capcom 1 when you just fight too close to the corner, it'll just break and it's an
Yeah.
extension.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, but
Well, you know what I also think? With that whole, it looks like that power up mode that Chun Li and Ryu are doing. That reminds me
hmm
of Dungeon mode Ryu from Ultimate Marvel and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Like
okay.
it's probably changing their properties in that respect. So that I mean, I think that's kind of cool. Especially since I'll be playing on the PC and shout out to Shinwar, Mister Troll and Heckler. But um, yeah, with that, I say visually it looks very nice, and it's almost as if like when me, Mike, and Shinwar were doing that wish list podcast, it was
Yeah.
like hey. if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It takes Street Fighter 4 and make it look better. I think that that's in essence what they did. Like, now with 3D models, like it's easier to bring characters back from past games. Because I know with the 2D and the labor involved, and since I program Mugen characters, that shit sucks in 2D. So if you can bring the models in and port them in, hey, why not? You know, now it's a wonder of who's going to make it back, because right now it's slated to take place after Street Fighter 3. So if we're moving forward like the Fast and Furious, now they're moving past the Tokyo Drift timeline. Now it's like, okay, where does the story go? Does Crimson Viper come back? Does Hugo come back? I mean, like, is it gonna be more of a story driven game, or is it gonna be fan service? You know, but even though it's not fan service, since half the market got shut out, but as far as you know, overall the lighting effect on that Hadoken looked ridiculous. Some of the projectiles. What do you think of the presentation, though, Nelson?
I mean, I think it was like really good, as you was just saying before, and I like the way how some of like the lighting effect to certain moves like were actually on point, even though it's just still like early like alpha or beta build of like the actual game. We don't know if the collision sounds were gonna stay the same.
Mm.
We don't know if it's gonna have a certain lighting color or shadow effect. We have like no idea. But the whole thing with bringing back past characters, I don't know what timeline the game's gonna take place. A lot of people is like, oh, it just happens right after Third Strike, or it takes place after Street Fighter 4, or we're somewhere between Street Fighter Alpha 3 and like, no one
Yeah,
knows.
the prevailing rumor is it's supposed to be after Street Fighter 3. That's the going rumor right now. But we don't know anything yet. Capcom, at Capcom Cup and everything, like they're gonna reveal what they need
They're
to
gonna
reveal.
reveal a lot more information. I heard because Ono has yet to like have his full speech yet. Because I've been
I
watching
don't want to hear
some.
what Ono has to say. All I want to do, I want to see the game.
You're gonna have to hear his mouth anyways, man.
He can have that Blanca toy. If we see him at Comic Con, snatch out his hand, like
But
like
other than that, I think the game, the way how it's going towards now, if they don't like do a switch like how they did with Cross Tekken and fuck it up, I think it'll be going towards a good direction. They just need to explain to us what the mechanics that they was trying to explain during the gameplay trailer. Like, is there such thing as guard breaks? Is there such thing as
The
like
guard break is something that Ryu, I think, came in with like a jumping heavy and hit Chun Li with a fireball, and like
yeah.
Alpha, she reeled back. So that guard breaking, I think, will be good, especially for those turtles. And I remember we were just saying, I was like, Shinwar and I were saying, hey, bring back guard break from Third Strike, or no, Alpha 3, pardon. So I mean, now that'll kind of pick up the pace of the fight, So that.
In a sense, it
Mm-hmm.
would. But how about the part where Chun Li did like a launcher? From what I saw, I don't know because the clip kind of like been spliced out and like
Yeah,
jumped
Ryu
into
did
like a.
that same launcher too. Like he did
So
that and then to Dragon Punch or so.
exactly, but from what I saw, what Chun Li did when she did like the air, like spinning bird kick version, like the diagonal one,
Mm-hmm.
when Ryu impacted to the ground, it was high enough to be considered a ground bounce, bro. And she
Yeah,
was able to get another hit right after. So,
yeah.
does this mean that they're taking some similar mechanics from Marvel or even from Cross Tekken as this form of more combo based?
Maybe like when what Shinra was saying, like maybe the combo system is a little less restricted, a little more loose, more ambiguous to do more. So, yeah, it remains to be seen. If it's something that they're gonna make it a little easier to play, that will definitely appeal to that casual audience that Capcom so desperately needs to make that revenue back, so that they don't have to do these bullshit exclusives. So I mean, let's see what the future holds. So
One last input. A lot of people saying that it feels like you're playing a Street Fighter ish Tekken kind of version of the game because the way how like the demeanor looks, it looks like Ryu was super fucking serious, and same thing as Chun Li, and the
Yeah.
way how the background is, and based on like the floaty combo effects, it feels like it's a Tekken atmosphere. Because in Tekken, you can juggle all day until the opponent falls to the ground.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's early. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some sort of air recovery, or when you get thrown, you could tech it or something. You know, we'll see how that. Most of the folks who are speculating things have not played the tech demo yet, so we can only just go by the visuals and say, hey, this is what it looks like, you know.
Right.
But like I said, the one thing we can confirm is you got supers with the Dinjin and whatnot, and Chun Li doing her third strike super, which ended up almost knocking Ryu through the wall. Um, Guard crush, and I mean, so far it looked like a semi launcher, but we don't know. I don't want to make an ass of myself and not and jump to conclusions. It's
Right.
gonna be on the radar. It's Street Fighter. At the end of the day, despite what fucked up move Capcom did in getting in bed with Sony over the exclusivity thing, I've always been a Street Fighter fan. I'm not you know as much as I have a disdain for the business practice that Sony put on the table. If maybe Capcom was in such dire straits that the game wouldn't even exist without them, I would have waited. Rather, Capcom waited and give Street Fighter 4 that whole 10-year thing that they did with Third Strike. But with that being said, there's that PC. Now, here's the thing with the PC version: will it be simultaneous release?
Yeah, from what I heard, they're gonna both be released sometime of spring of
2016.
not 2016, probably next year. I heard.
That's too soon. That's too soon. I believe if they are that far in development, they should just let Street Fighter 4 breathe. Let
I mean,
Omega
think
Mode
about
breathe.
it, bro. They was doing the same shit with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
It looked like they were working on it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way that okay, I turn around and I'm gonna make Cross Tekken. No, they were doing that at the same time. But Nelson, that's the thing. Working with 3D models is easier to do, and hey, copy paste, change things, move things around or whatever. So, um, that's rather interesting. I mean, who knows how long they were working on it because the from even with this alpha build and fighting games not being that demanding on hardware, they're still further along than like what the fuck, like this thing is playable. This is playable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I mean, the Capcom kudos to bringing a Street Fighter out after we wouldn't have thought that it blown people's minds. Matter of fact, I wish this was something that would have been revealed at Evo as opposed to the PlayStation experience. But since Sony is all behind it and bankrolling this thing, it just kind of killed the buzz, so to speak.
Uh,
But anything else you want to make reference to the exclusivity or just the response, Nelson?
well, I mean, as to the whole exclusive thing, I'm kind of upset because as me and you had a side off of Skype conversation, for people who don't have financial resources to just go out and buy all this
Brand
consoles
new
and all these
systems.
games and shit, it limits them to the point where, like, I'm gonna give you guys an example. I have the Xbox One, I have the PS4, shout outs to NYC Playboy 87. And let's say my girlfriend, right? She only has the Xbox One, but she wants Street Fighter 5. Now she would have to force herself to go out to the fucking store, buy a $400 console, PlayStation Plus, which is an extra fucking 60, and then God knows what the price is gonna be for the game, maybe 60 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. And then let's say if she wants an arcade stick, $200 more. It's just like, dude, it's stacking on, and she doesn't have the financial
The means
necessary
to do
funds.
it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And how would it be if like, Capcom's like, oh, haha, we only looked out for the majority of ourselves and we had to do what was right for the business. I understand it in that sense that you're trying to protect your ass, but now you're gonna lose like literally 50% of your fucking fan base because the majority of them, especially in tournaments as of right now, Northeast Championship is all running on a 360 and on Xbox One.
But you know what, Nelson, I can already tell you from the comments I've been reading that the Sony fans are rejoicing and whatnot, and it's just I would say this, and this is not Alex Lexus. This is Alex. I'm not gonna give my last name. You can find me on Facebook. This is the man behind Alex Lexus saying, if Microsoft was in that position and got Street Fighter on exclusive, I would not be behind it. Why would the PlayStation fans have deserve to be ripped from Street Fighter, which everybody like it reached so many fans, so many users. You know what I mean? And then the immature fanboys who are just only looking at it from, yeah, I'm glad I got a PlayStation 4. Some folks like myself are burned by that. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
have both systems. I only got and for the show, that's the only reason why I have a PlayStation 4. Dead ass. You know what I mean? And that's an expensive investment for a new gaming order. To keep the content rolling. You know what I mean? I don't really use it, but I have it, to diversify the gaming. But the fact that they pretty much reeled you in with the carrot, say, hey, you know what? I like this. And now you can only get it over here. You pretty much choke did like a choke point in how we get that content. They removed our options, and at the end of the day, Capcom don't owe nobody no explanations. Those of us, true gamers who are actually into the industry, will know it's because of their financial situation, and that's the only way the game would have come out. Bottom line, you know. But maybe part of me would have been able to do without it. But I can't speak for the majority of the gamers. But I know that a lot of the Sony fans are being irrational with these memes and all this. Hey, you do whatever. Some of them are funny, like a funny one I'll share with you. Shinwar with his raspy voice, he made a reference to Karate Kid, where you had Sensei John Kreese, aka Sony, and the student, aka Capcom. And he goes to him, sweep the leg, sweep the leg, and Shinwar switched it like take the game. Do you have a problem with that? No, Sony, no mercy. Like you know what I mean? Like it just uh it stings. It stings because I was even talking to Noble about that, and at first I didn't think he understood where some of the Xbox users are coming from. It's like Xbox is a tool for how a lot of folks enjoy that certain games, but now your tool will not be able to deliver what you were once getting access to or getting results from and so on. But it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have a response for that, Nelson?
I mean, it's like what I said before. It's just you. Oh man. The company, of course, is only going to speak for themselves when the time is necessary. They're not going to sit there and be like, "Oh, hey, we're going to tell you why we did this. We're going to tell you why we did that." It's not really in their clause to say
Yeah,
anything.
they
At the
don't owe
very
us no explanation. They're gonna do what they're gonna
exactly.
do.
So if they want to sit there and they want to be like, "Hey, I don't want to do this. Let me just go this route and be like, all right, we're not gonna tell you shit. You're the consumer. We're the company. Bottom line, we're giving you the game. You have the option. Don't want to fucking get it, then don't get it. That's just what they're doing right now.
You
And
know
I
what? This is
feel
like a killer instinct. You're trying to combo break and you got locked out for like 3 seconds and getting raped. You know what I mean? But here's one
hmm
thing. You know, Sony don't have to have any morals, any loyalty to any Xbox fan. It's about their product. They want to push
yeah.
that PS4. That's fine. But I know me. Maybe I'm just too nice of a person. If I was sitting there and saying, "Damn, you know what? You got these people that do want to play it." Maybe at some point, cross console play across all consoles in terms of Xbox fighting PS4 or Xbox Live versus PSN versus PC. Now, here's the thing: the PC and Xbox. There's a time where you could. There are certain games, like for instance, I was telling a YouTube user, Lost Planet, Colonies. You can play Xbox gaming for Windows Live and 360 together,
Yes, you
right?
can.
There are some other games that now Sony is delving into the whole PC and PSN. That means it's possible. That means it's possible. I mean, but you know what? The companies are getting so damn cutthroat, Nelson. Like, okay, people are upset with Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is a timed exclusive. I don't know how Crystal Dynamics did it, or freaking, you know, Ubisoft and all these folks. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I even saw Review Tech USA's video, and he said the information that he gathered, Sony doesn't buy up IPs and all this other stuff. That's bullshit. Sony had to have thrown money in such a way that Capcom got on their knees like a $2 home and serviced them. You know what I mean? There's no way that they weren't paid to keep that game off of the Xbox.
Purchase something too.
Now think about it, Nelson. PC, PS4, but no Xbox. Now you got Guilty Gear Xrd, which is PS4. That's it. There's no PC version.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But PC, PS4, no Xbox. If so, what I don't understand is why insult us and put the PC one out there, and then you flat out block the Xbox. That's messed up because if you look at so many users who are on 360 still playing Ultra, they will never get to play Street Fighter 5 unless they do that $700 conversion or build up a PC rig that can probably handle it, because we don't know what the PC specs are going to be. You know what I'm saying?
You're
So
right.
I mean, I don't know. I said my piece, and I actually calmed down from after all the craziness and me and Shinwar doing that last show. But I don't want to take my disdain for the fact that you can only find it on these two forms of media in terms of the console and PC. But I don't want it to take away from the fact that the Street Fighter Five looks nice. It was really nice. And it's going to be interesting, and I hope that, like Maximilian videos are saying, that Street Fighter has to evolve. New mechanics, something that just was never in Street Fighter before. That'd be cool. Now, with the horsepower of the PS4, let's see what can be done with it. But, I mean, I know I went on a rant, Nelson, but I'm just tired. I'm burnt out, and the trolling and all this other stuff from Shin Jackman. It's just I'm a little sore, man. So I'll give you the floor, and then we can bring it to an end.
All right. I guess you could say like my closing statements on this is just for people who is not going to be able to get the game, and you guys have a PC that's up to par to be able to play the game. I recommend that you guys get on that. At least it'll be more accessible to you in the sense of if you have like a 360 or an Xbox One, you could just plug in the arcade stick, still be able to play the game. But for the reasoning behind all this, I really don't know because, as what I mentioned before, you're taking out half of your market, dude, and then you're funding it so it's only for the investment for the company. And remember, we had a conversation. The consumers put a lot of time and money into this. We're talking about DLC.
DLC, yeah.
We're talking about expansion after iteration of each installment of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Why
messed up.
now?
That's messed up.
Why now do we have to go on an offset where all of our money that we invested to is not even going to be still invested onto the same exact console that we invested all the time and effort to?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's only going to make it go further to the point where I have to go to get a PlayStation 4 or a strong ass gaming rig.
Well,
And I just feel that it's messed up.
you know
And
what?
Sony,
You know what, Nelson? To interject real quick, if you take away the fighting game, aspect of it. Street Fighter, the story, those who are following the story of the game, and then you get to a point like what we're suffering with Bayonetta. Like we start playing Bayonetta, we can't get it on the X1 or PS4, so we're cut off from the story. You know what I mean? It's just like you're reading a good book, and then boom, you can't get it, but from China, but you can go to Barnes and Noble and get it. You have more access to it, and I think that the restricted access to Street Fighter 4 is fucked up, man. That was wrong. That was a
It
low blow.
was.
And honestly, Nelson, and I'm gonna say this live, this is not looking good for Microsoft as a whole. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Despite we love Killer Instinct, but it's not enough. Not one fighting game is not enough to hold that. I mean, I want these games, XR and freaking Street Fighter 5, but man, to be like I'm driving one way and somebody's pulling my steering wheel, no, turn over here. I'm like, man, that's not cool. Give me that
Yeah.
flexibility. Let me have a choice. And they took away
Mm-hmm.
choice. You know? I mean, if it were on the Xbox, I would not agree with it either. And just like I said with Dead Rising, Tomb Raider, Titanfall, and whatnot, I mean, I don't agree with those being exclusive if they're third party.
Right.
It's wrong. That's bad practice. But being that the systems look are like Review Tech made a good point, and Nelson, we know that the PS4 has certain parts of peak power over the Xbox One. It's documented, but the systems are now the output, like what the developers are cranking out of them, they still look similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Except
Yeah.
for if one company is pushing the 1080p thing, but Microsoft made so many mistakes. They stumbled out the gates, and I just think that to avoid all this, we should all just go to PC gaming. At least you're guaranteed the game. And it's not the bureaucratic bullshit where, oh, I'm going to do a cutthroat thing and cut this game off from this group of people. Just make one group of people. PC gaming. That's it. That's what I hope comes out of this. You know what I mean? And that
Right.
Alienware Alpha is looking real good right now in light of all that nasty politicking going on between Microsoft and Sony. Because now I'm actually tired of the fighting. I just want to enjoy the games. I don't give a damn about Microsoft and Sony's war anymore. I'm so jaded by this situation, and it's what it is, man. So I'm done. I have nothing else to say. This is the first time I've had this kind of stunted feeling in terms of being involved in the gaming community. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know, man. I have nothing else to say. I'm done. Nelson, you got the floor, and you can bring it to a close.
Like I said, man, I just agree with everything you said. I don't know if there's anything much more to be said on the topic. I mean, we'll just have to wait till Capcom Cup, which I think is sometime next weekend, if I'm not mistaken, because we have the PlayStation Experience going on now. We have NEC 15 this weekend, so I'm assuming next weekend is the Capcom Cup. So I guess we'll just leave all of our assumptions or speculations until next week,
Mm-hmm.
Friday or Saturday. See what Ono has to say. Hopefully, he clarifies anything of the cross-platforming of why he didn't go to Microsoft. I doubt he's gonna say all that.
Nah, probably not. I think that'd be wise if he didn't. But let's just focus for now on the good thing that it exists, and
Yeah.
it looks good, and we have at least the option of going PC. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
is what it is. So, yeah, you can take us out, Nelson, and I'll hit the button on it.
All right, guys. Thanks for you all for watching this little short podcast that we had based on what we saw earlier today from the PlayStation Experience, or the stuff that's officially been prompt to YouTube now, of Street Fighter 5 being actually released. Though everything that we spoke about is, like I said, just speculation. We'll see what the future holds of us. My name is Nelson. Of course, you got your other co-CEO Alex Lexus, and
I quit.
we're out, man.
All right, peace.